what's up? It's me, Bree, and I'm so excited to be back filming today's video because it's going to be a long-awaited video that I've been trying to film for literally forever, all about my tattoos and piercings, my experience with all of my tattoos and all the piercings that I have. I'm going to go through, talk to you guys about my experience getting my first tattoo, my second tattoo, and my third and final tattoo that I have, and also my experience with all my piercings down to my earlobe piercings, my cartilage piercing, and my nose piercing. This has been extremely requested for you guys, and I know when I was thinking about getting piercings, I was really skeptical, especially when I was thinking about getting a tattoo. I didn't know who to go to in my area. I didn't know how much it would hurt. It was hard to figure out what I wanted, so I wanted to do this video for you guys in case you're wanting to go get your first piercing or your first tattoo, or you're wanting to get a certain type of piercing that maybe you've never gotten before and you kind of want to know if it hurts and if it helps at all. My pain tolerance, I wouldn't say it's really high. I don't think I have a high pain tolerance, and I handled everything pretty well. I'm also going to be talking about aftercare for tattoos and piercings for you guys and showing you guys what I use for all of my piercings as well as my tattoos to help with the healing process and to also help with keloids and bumps that might arise on certain piercings. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up if it's helpful to you and if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, you guys, so first and foremost, I'm going to talk all about piercings because that was one of the first things that I ever got was piercings. I was probably about 10 years old when I got my ears pierced, and I'll go ahead and zoom in for you guys on this ear so you can see a little bit. But on this side, I have all my piercings up to my triples and then one cartilage piercing. This is the only cartilage piercing that I have, and I chose to get a ring when I got it done. But you guys know ear piercings are pretty typical. I'd probably say with my first and my second holes on my ear piercings, I didn't have any problems as far as healing goes, and I got these two done at Keloids. Now as for my third hole, I have a press fit in the back. I don't know if you guys can see that. I like that better than the clamping fit, and I got this done at a tattoo shop. So this is what my ear looks like, and I also got my cartilage piercing done at a tattoo shop too. I know that some Keloids locations will do cartilage piercings, but I've heard not to go there for cartilage piercings because they do pierce it with a gun, and piercing with a gun does a lot more damage to your ears than piercing with a needle does. So I would highly recommend that for any of your piercings you guys go to a tattoo shop, because if I could go back in time when I was 10, 11, 12 getting my first doubles and triples done on my ears, I probably would have went to a tattoo shop. Now I did go, like I said, to a tattoo piercing shop. I think it was specifically a piercing shop. It's called Pierceology in Columbus, Ohio. That's where I've gotten all my piercings done except for my nose and my earlobe piercing, but my cartilage and my triples were done at Pierceology. So find a piercing shop or a tattoo and or piercing shop near you that's going to pierce with a needle, because you're going to heal a lot better that way versus if anything is pierced with a gun. Here in Ohio, I know our Claire stores cannot pierce with a gun legally. Now that I've showed you guys all of my piercings on my ears, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my nose piercing. This one's probably my favorite. So for my nose piercing, I just chose to get the L-shaped stud, which is, I'm pretty sure, typical for anyone to pierce it with. You can get different sizes, but for swelling purposes, I just got a smaller size. That way it would heal a little bit better. I didn't want a super huge one at first, and you can choose to get nose piercings done with a ring, but I find that you're more prone to bumps, especially if you have sensitive skin, because I found that with the ring, especially in my cartilage piercing too, it moved around a lot, and I got a really bad bump. I used to have a really bad bump on the inside and outside of my cartilage piercings. I'll talk to you guys about how I got rid of those. And then I did have a tiny bump around my nose piercing when I first got it, only due to bumping it and it getting caught on something. So usually bumps are pretty common in the healing process. Usually people will call them keloids or piercing bumps. That's kind of what you'll hear it be called. I usually call it a piercing bump. I'll be like, oh no, I got a piercing bump on my nose. So that is all of the facial piercings that I have. It's just my nose piercing, and then ear piercings, like I said, I have up to my triples on this side, and then I have triples on this side, and then a ring for my cartilage piercing. And I got my cartilage pierced with the ring. I didn't get it done with the stud, but if I could go back, I probably would get it done with the stud, just because I feel like the ring ring moved around so much when I slept, so it would have been a lot easier from the jump just to get a stud. My last and final piercing is my belly button piercing, and it is a little bit red right now only because it still is fairly new and it is from February, so the healing time isn't fully completed, and I do have a few bumps which I have been soaking in sea salt in order to get rid of, which I will explain later. But this is what my belly button piercing looks like. It's funny because I just actually recently got a new ring put in it, because when I went to the lake in North Carolina for the 4th of July, my belly button ring ripped out when I was tubing, which sounds painful, but I didn't feel it only because I think it happened when I was in the water because my belly ring was just too loose. So that's another thing. It's really important over the years to go get your jewelry tightened, because I probably should have went and got my belly ring tightened before I went tubing and before I left for my trip. Otherwise, I could have prevented that from happening. So now I'm going to talk about all things piercings when it comes to cleaning and aftercare and keloids and bumps and things like that. I don't know what is on my shirt. What is irritating me? Okay. So I have a few things that I want to show you guys. So I actually went on Amazon and I did a lot of research. Now, at my piercing shop, they gave me Pure Sun soap, but I found that irritated it a little bit, and I liked sprays a lot better because they were way more convenient. So I have two here that I like. They're both by the Neil Med. I don't really know how to say it, but they're the brand that you can get at like Walgreens. So I have the Neil Cleanse Wound Wash Sterile Saline Solution. Now, this isn't a fine mist, so I like it, but I felt like it was a little bit hard to control, so it was hard to just spray directly on the piercing. So I went on Amazon and I found the Neil Cleanse Piercing Aftercare Fine Mist Wound Wash. Now, I will say this one is a little bit more expensive. This one's cheaper. It's like $4 at Walmart, and this one's like $10 on Amazon. I'll link it in the description down below, but I like this one better only because it's better for like ear piercings and belly button piercings, because it is a bit more of a fine mist. So when you spray it out, the spritz is going to be a lot more thin, versus this one is a little bit more of like a bigger spout, so you're not gonna get like as fine of a rinse, if that makes any sense. So if you're on the go a lot and you're just trying to spray it and then clean it really quick, this is really easy and really meant for piercings, just to really get up in there, especially if it's like a cartilage piercing. So how I did with my piercings to prevent any infection and to help ease the healing process is every single day I would clean out my piercings with either this. So I used this to start and then I eventually moved on to this for like my smaller ear piercings. I would say this one's fine for like a nose piercing or for like a belly button piercing, but I just personally like this. It's all about personal preference. I like this better for my nose piercing just because it is a finer mist, and this is the most recent piercing that I've gotten, and so far I got a tiny bump, but what I did to take care of it helped it go away, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So I like to have this mainly for on the go cleaning, especially if I'm not doing any saltwater soaks with saline. If I'm just cleaning it specifically with saline only, I like to use this here. Like I said, I got it off of Amazon. I have never seen it in a store before, so I will link it down below for you guys. So as far as taking care of piercings when it comes to getting tiny irritation bumps, keloids, piercing bumps, whatever you want to call it, my saving grace has been saline solution. So I'll take a little bit of saline solution. So for example, I'll take some saline solution, squirt some in a cup, and then I'll get non-iodized sea salt. That is really important. You don't want it to be iodized. So you can just go to your grocery store, make sure you buy sea salt that says non-iodized. I got fine sea salt just because I felt like that was easier to mix in with the saline solution. And then I'll mix 1/4 teaspoon of that into 8 ounces of water. So 4 to 8 ounces of water, depending on how much I want to soak it for. I'll heat it up in the microwave for about 10 seconds, get it warm, and then get a cotton ball and then soak my piercing. So for example, my most recent one was my nose, and I would soak my piercing on it for 5 to 10 minutes twice daily. And I would say within 2 weeks of doing that, 1 to 2 weeks of doing that, depending on the severity of irritation that I had, my bump was gone. So for example, my nose piercing bump is completely gone. I have a little bump on my belly button only due to the fact that I had to mess with it the past couple days and put a new jewelry in it because my old one came out. But meanwhile, I also did that, and then once I did that, for a little bit of extra help, or if I was too lazy to do the saline and sea salt, I ordered off of Amazon this product from Urban Relief, which is a family-owned company, and it's their piercing solution with tea tree and sea salt. Now, if you guys have researched anything about piercings, you know that they say to use sea salt and tea tree. 1, the sea salt helps with the healing process. 2, the tea tree helps dry out any bumps. So once my bumps kind of got flat and they weren't so much raised, I put this on it, soaked it with with a cotton ball or a Q-tip. I did a Q-tip for my nose and my belly button just because it was easier to manage, and I soaked it in this for 5 minutes twice daily, and that helped kind of get rid of the scarring, and it helped dry down the excess crust around the bump, and it kind of just basically fell off. And this is really, really good for cartilage piercings too. If you guys, want something quick and easy, good for travel on the go, if you don't want to have to worry about mixing something together, this is a really, really good option for you, and I highly recommend it. I used it, like I said, for my healed piercings. I still even use it on my healed and stretched piercings, but it's really, really good for when you first get your piercings as well, to kind of just clean it with the saline and then follow through with the sea salt and tea tree soak. So I'll link all of this down below. I got everything off of Amazon, so this specifically I think is only on Amazon or the Urban Relief website, but I got it on Amazon, so I'll link it down below for you guys. Do your saline rinses to clean out your piercing. That just helps get any dirt and debris and grossness outside of your piercing. It helps clean it out, get it looking good. And then when it comes to bumps and stuff, I highly recommend the piercing solution, or mixing your saline solution with 1/4 of a teaspoon of non-iodized sea salt. But I figure for people like me who are lazy, this is a lot better because it's already in here mixed up for you. And sometimes I would put a little bit of this in a cup, heat it up for like 5 seconds to get it nice and warm, because the heat helps, bring out the bump. I don't even know if I'm making any type of sense, but I felt like the heat helped a little bit, because they say to put like heat on it if you're trying to get rid of it. So I guess that works. And I watched plenty of videos and I did plenty of my research, but I did find that this Urban Relief piercing solution worked best for me. And no, this is not sponsored. I researched this all myself, found these two, purchased them together. They came together and it was great. Like I said, started doing that for 2 weeks, and you want to be consistent with it. If you do have a large bump, you want to be consistent with soaking it once in the morning, once at night, and cleaning in between. Also, ladies, if you have a nose piercing, do not put makeup on it. Whatever you do, you can put makeup near it, like on top of your nose, but whatever you do, do not put makeup directly on your piercing hole, because that is not going to help with getting your bump better. You might think, oh, I'll put it on my bump to hide it. No, no, no. Don't wear makeup. I didn't wear makeup for like 2 weeks throughout this process. I know that sounds crazy, but I sacrificed wearing makeup in order to get my bump better. So that is all the information that I have on my piercings. I'll put all my tips and tricks in the description box below for you guys to refer to. Now I'm going to talk about my tattoos with you guys. So for my tattoos, I will show you all the ones that I have. I will also insert pictures, but I have one on my forearm. I have one on my wrist over here that says I am enough, and then this one is a tattoo that is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then I also have one on my back shoulder, my back right shoulder, and I will insert pictures for all of my tattoos. I got them all done by the same guy. He's Travis from Downtown Tattoo in Zanesville, Ohio. Super great dude. Love all of his work. I would probably say pain tolerance, it didn't really hurt. It hurt more using a thinner needle for this tattoo and on my back, because it was a thinner needle, and then the shading on this tattoo hurt a little bit. But all in all, the tattoo process, probably at max, my longest tattoo was probably 45 minutes, which was maybe this one, 30 to 45 minutes. But I would say know what you want when you're going in, or have an idea of what you want that your tattoo artist can draw up. Most of the time I just went on Pinterest for mine, but I would probably say pain tolerance was probably like a 5 to a 6. This one probably hurt the worst, only because it was on a sensitive part where there's thinner skin. But I got this one to remind myself that I am enough, and then I got this one to remind myself of my favorite Bible verse. And then the one on my back says head for the future, run from the past, and it's from one of my favorite Eric Church songs, and I feel like it's kind of relevant to my life. Now, as far as aftercare goes for my tattoos, for about 2 weeks, I would wash off my tattoo after, I left the wrap on it for like a day or two. I'd wash off my tattoo per my tattoo artist instructions with antibacterial dial soap. You can get this at Walmart, and I would wash that off in the shower or twice daily, once in the shower, once out of the shower, depending on how my tattoo was peeling and how it was looking. And I would either use lotion, but most of the time I would use Aquaphor healing ointment, which this was my saving grace, you guys. I'm telling you guys, I know tattoo artists will be like, use lotion, but Aquaphor was literally what helped heal my tattoos, especially with the scabbing. This one on my forearm scabbed really badly, and using the Aquaphor seriously was saving grace. It was amazing, you guys. I cannot stress enough how much I loved using the Aquaphor. So that was really my main experience with my tattoos. It didn't hurt too badly, and it wasn't too bad of pain. Like, it wasn't unmanageable to where I couldn't handle it at all. So I really, really enjoyed, you know, getting my tattoos. I have a great relationship with my tattoo artist. I'll link him down below if you guys are willing to travel, or if you're in the Ohio area and want to go to Downtown Tattoo to get your tattoos. Like I said, I'll insert pictures of everything, but mainly for my tattoos, it was pretty simple. They healed up within 2 to 4 weeks. I'd probably say this one took probably about a month to fully heal, but my script ones that were a little bit smaller took about 2.5, 3 weeks to heal completely, and I didn't have any problems with the script ones peeling that much, only because it wasn't as big of a tattoo as this one. This is probably the biggest tattoo that I have, but all in all, I'd say if you're thinking about getting your first tattoo, don't be worried about pain. Try to take some Advil before you go in to kind of ease everything. Don't tan before. Ladies, if you use a tanning bed, do not go into the tanning bed the day of your tattoo or 24 hours prior to your tattoo, because that can help you bleed a little bit more. Also, don't drink any alcohol if you are of the drinking age before you go in and get a tattoo, because I have heard that it can like have you bleed a little bit more. I don't know. Something about making your blood something. I don't know. I just read online, when you go in to get a tattoo, try to take Advil, don't tan, because obviously it can make your skin a little bit more sensitive, and then do not drink right before going in to get a tattoo. But yeah, I'd say antibacterial dial soap and Aquaphor. Use this first, wash it off in the shower, and then let your tattoo air dry, and then avoid touching it and put Aquaphor on. You can use your clean hands to put the Aquaphor on, but then after that, avoid like touching it, avoid tanning beds while your tattoo's healing, everything like that. But I'd probably say my experience with piercings and tattoos has been pretty nice. I mean, I don't think I've had a bad experience getting a piercing or a tattoo other than handling bumps. But like I said, the Urban Relief piercing solution from Amazon, highly recommend. I'll link it down below. But yeah, that was it for this video. If I didn't explain anything that I forgot to say in this video, check the description box in the comments down below, and I'll just answer any of your guys' questions. If you have any for me, leave them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.